Welcome to S Rank, the podcast. Always at the cutting edge. On this show, we rank 14 random things on an S through F tier. We don't know what's coming next, and we only get one swap. This is the Most Dangerous Game, Season 2, by the way. Season 2, right? Is that what we're calling this?
Yeah, are we referring to this as Season 2, Episode 1, or is this Episode 16? I need to know.
Episode 16.
Okay.
Let's call it 16, but in a more like, we're starting a new slate. Folks, I'm Devin, and with me to create this list is Ethan. You already know what it is.
I usually point up when he says the podcast because the word "the" was right kind of there, but the logo isn't on the screen anymore.
Fresh look. Yes.
So
everything's fresh.
Yeah. Maybe we'll change this up every episode. No.
Oh my God.
Dude, this took me like 3 fucking hours to do this, and
I think we're really creative. I think we're really creative, but I think eventually we would hit a wall of how can we make this look different than last episode that wasn't repeating another episode, and then that'd be more the dangerous game.
Look, we've kept the backgrounds being different each time, and that's manageable. Sometimes I forget until 30 minutes before an episode, and was like, I gotta scramble and make something. But otherwise, it's like, okay, that's fine. Maybe every season of this, we change a bit and experiment. Mm-hmm. We're trying something new. Due to an insane amount of viewer feedback, the list is now upside down. So that up top is the S. I know it's crazy. Yeah. You can have your standard building metaphor can work out for you now. It doesn't have to be, I liked it before. It made sense. The lines all came pointing at the S. There's but we're trying this out. We're trying this out. We're
building up a tower now. S is at the precipice. But yes, folks, if this is your first episode of S Rank, the podcast, as I said, we rank 14 random things. And if you have watched, though, our previous other episodes, we've ranked a lot of different things, and there was a couple of special episodes, but for the most part, we had our set 7 generators we used, and I'll say some of them have been kept, but some of them are gone forever. Some of them because the website was breaking or has broke already, and it was starting to just not appear correctly. But or there was ones where we felt we got what we came for out of it. We are moving on. So yeah, there's, as you can see here, we have random people. This is a classic. I feel like this is going to be a staple for a minute, but you never know. Nothing is off the table of changing. You never know. But yes, we rank 14 random things, and then we put them on this list. The rules are, as you can see here, there's 2 spots for each thing, except for S, because we were only going to get one number 1, right? Only one could take the grand prize. Then we have 3 in C just to make it kind of even of the 14, but also it's our bell curve, our middle of the road. So that's how we're going to do this, but we don't know what's coming next. We do one at a time, and we go through our 7 generators, then we come back through it one more time. But like I said, there's some new ones in here, and I did change the order slightly, except for the first 3 are going to be familiar, but and then we have... there's 4 of the classics and 3 new ones, basically.
Okay. This is a surprise to me as well.
Yeah.
I'm not fully up to speed on
I was thinking of sharing with you, but I was like, I
was thinking about asking, but I was like,
we'll see what happens. I thought that would actually help the challenge, and we want to make sure we win, by the way. Like the lists, maybe, I don't think we've ever had a perfect list. Like F through S, we've had ones where we're like, these are really strong. Maybe there's like a couple changes we would make. That's always the goal. We win when we feel like, we got a really solid list and there's more in the correct spot than not. If we don't have a good list, there's consequences. We really don't want to get into that, so we won't. But we've got to make sure we win the list, and it's really important that we win the list. But I felt like the first couple episodes of this show, and the reason, as we go through it, you'll see how it is with these new generators. I'll say the first couple episodes, we changed things as we went, but for the most part, the list stayed the same. And I felt like we started to metagame it too much, and I think we'll still probably metagame it a bit, especially with the one swap. We always seem to save it for the end, and maybe one day we'll make a rule change there. I don't know, but not for this season at least. But I will say, I picked some of these new generators, and I think this will make it a little bit tougher to metagame, or at least it's going to be a little bit tougher overall for us, I think, by the end of putting things in where they are, because There's some that I feel like are going to be 50-50 good or bad, as opposed to there's some that in the past where I was like, oh, it's like a 10% chance we get something bad here.
Sure.
There's ones like the Wikipedia one where I feel like that one's a true random.
Right.
But there's a couple on
it's
here
given
where,
us literal Nazis before.
Yeah.
You know
this
I mean?
one I feel like at least one of them for sure is a true like almost 50-50, which will be scarier for us. But I think we're up to the challenge. We're getting better at this. We are the expert rankers of all time.
That's right.
That's what people come here for. But yeah, are you ready, Ethan, to take this journey, a new journey in season 2? Are you excited? Paul McCartney's excited, as you can tell.
I'm excited. I'll just say, this is the first episode of a new season, and the first episode of last season had such an all-timer for the S-rank spot, so much that it, spoilers, won our season 1 ultra ranking episode. Yes. And I don't want to say maybe the show peaked with episode 1 on what that could be, but I am excited to see what these new lists can offer us. Because I mean, I kind of got everything I wanted with that first season. I got pizza and Kingdom Hearts
for the most part.
You know what I mean? So, and Paul McCartney's, I'm sure, a nice fella, but we're not going to rank him now.
He's just our example. Yeah, he's just our example. I guess I could hit rerun here, and it could give us Paul McCartney again, but the odds are very slim. We've seen a wide range of random people. There's been people, for the most part, I'll say too, it's been people we at least recognize. Right? Yeah. But we have gone like Ronald Reagan before, so it's possible.
And RFK Jr.
We did get RFK Jr. That was really funny. But let's see what our first person is for season 2, but episode 16. Let's see what we got here. Off to a great start. I don't know who this guy is.
Daniel Boone, Boone.
Do we want to institute, because one kind of loose rule we kind of slowly did for some, but not all, is are we okay with Googling? And I wanted to, in case this popped up, I was going to
say absolutely, because we could do the lame thing and be like, I don't know where to roll. And what if they're interesting? You know what I mean? I think we stick with everyone that we get, and we're allowed one internet search through a DuckDuckGo, or that website Devin was mispronouncing for the longest time, which I found very funny, about the trees, or maybe old-fashioned Google Gemini, which is now I think what it's called.
Yeah. I think we just stick with Wikipedia, since that is one of our other ones, and I think that way it feels the most fair. If they have a Wikipedia, I'm assuming every famous person on here is going to have a Wikipedia. So yeah, Daniel Boone. I was going to say his name was familiar because here in Denver, University of Denver has a very controversial, still has a controversial mascot or moniker, the Pioneers. But they had a mascot at one point with the Pioneers who was, I think, called Mr. Boone or whatever, and it was the guy with the raccoon kind of hat, right? So I'm wondering if this is related, because it kind of seems from what I'm reading right here. Daniel Boone was an American pioneer and frontiersman whose exploits made him one of the first folk heroes in the United States. He became famous for his exploration and settlement of Kentucky, which was then beyond the western borders of the 13 colonies. In 1775, under commission from Judge Richard Henderson's Transylvanian Company, Boone blazed the wilderness road through the Cumberland Gap and into Kentucky in the face of resistance from nearby Indian tribes. He founded Boonesboro, one of the first English-speaking settlements west of the Appalachian Mountains. By the end of the 18th century, more than 200,000 people had entered Kentucky by following the route marked by Boone.
Wow.
He served as a militia officer during the Revolutionary War. He was captured by the Shawnee and was, according to the legend, adopted by the Shawnee chief and given the name Shalotui, or Big Turtle. After months living with the Shawnee, Boone escaped. He was elected to the first of his 3 terms for the Virginia General Assembly during the war, and fought in the Battle of Blue Licks in 1782, which is a American Revolutionary War battle. He worked as a surveyor and merchant after the war. He remains a legendary, if imperfectly remembered, figure in American history. He was celebrated in his own lifetime, especially after an account of his adventures was published in 1784, making him famous in America and Europe. After his death, he became the subject of many heroic tall tales and works of fiction. His adventures, real and mythical, helped create the archetypal frontier archetypal frontier hero of American folklore. In the American popular culture... Thank you. Because I was like, I read that word, I don't think I've ever said it out loud. In American popular culture, Boone is remembered as one of the foremost early frontiersmen, even though mythology often overshadows his historic details of his life. That is the rundown. He was born in October or November 2nd, 1734. Died in 1820.
Okay, so he was in his 40s doing all of that. That's kind of impressive that they lived that long back then. I guess they were all old as fuck if they wore those white wigs and that and all that stuff. Yeah, I was gonna say he looked. I would have recognized Boone as like a president's name, so I wasn't gonna say he looks like he was a president, but he is from that era that I'm thinking of, in American history. Like, look, he seemed like he's one of those like dudes from that era, you know, in the kind of not Wild West, but like the grand, you know, exploration of the American frontier, literally a frontiersman. So for better or worse, you know, there's a lot that you could be like, that's cool. It's cool to be like, I'm venturing off into the unknown. I'm going to build a fucking town. Like, that's cool, regardless of if, like, maybe you were nearby people who didn't want you nearby. You know what I mean? That you might have referred to as savages, whether he did or not. I wouldn't say, like, I'm super inspired to put him up high on this list. At the same time, we do have to be like, look, listen. This is the thing we do about the founding fathers. We gotta do the song and dance. Not perfect people. Some of them maybe owned slaves. Some of them maybe raped the slaves. Some
maybe owned a lot of slaves.
And raped and killed
not just
the
one.
Slaves.
We're talking about like hundreds.
Maybe you know what I mean. It is that like that line celebrated in his own time. But I don't think we need to be like, listen, fuck this guy F rank just because of like, I don't know, the Native American aspect of whatever he was doing. I'm okay putting him middle of the road. Just be like, look, listen, there's probably some cool stories there. You know what I mean? There's, I don't know, you speak. I don't know what else to say.
I was going to say, I don't know. I just like I said, I think, you know, Wikipedia usually is pretty as neutral as you can get in a Western perspective. You know, so I think putting that in,
because there's a million Wikipedia editors with guns to each other's head, like, I dare you to have an opinion. I dare you to to scale this in any perspective. But
typically, American settlement and American, you know, westward expansion on Wikipedia, but just in Western, you know, history is often looked. I think it's very much whitewashed. I don't think that should be a hot take in 2026, but, you know, I think a lot of that is seen in well, yeah, he was bad, but, you know, who wasn't back then? And as a, you know, that's kind of like the argument. I don't really personally buy into that as much. I think bad is bad. I'll say there's a lot worse people in terms of like Native American genocide contributions.
Yeah, if Andrew Jackson was on here, I'd be like, hold on a second now. My only thing about that, because I know I kind of start off with that, is like, well, what can we do about this? Not like we can go back in time and be like, redeem yourself before it's too late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like, you don't have to be like, it's the conservative thing out there is like, no, these people must be idolized. That is tiresome. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, hey, George Washington, that's a cool guy. Did some fucked things, but a cool guy. But that's it. Like, you could just be like, this is the stuff that he did. You can be like, some of this is cool and some of this is bad. You know what I mean? You don't have to be like,
no, I get where you're coming
from. Columbus, it must be named after Columbus Day. And so when we get to this, as soon as I saw the word pioneer and frontierman, I'm like, I'm already tired. Because I know the song and dance we're going to have to do about this. Do we performatively put him at the bottom? Or do we anti-performatively put him at the top? That's why I'm like, you know what? It just seems like he's a guy who did some shit. Daniel Boone. I would say C if I were to make my choice now.
I was gonna put him at E only because of I mean, I do find, I mean, I went to school for history, so I've always find history, even the bad parts of it, interesting. It's weird to say it that way, but you know what I mean, where it's like, it's important to know these things and important to analyze these things and understand the context of their times. And I do agree generally with what you're saying, where it's like it might be more bad than good here. We don't also know, a lot of his stuff seems to be mythological too, so we don't really know. That's the other aspect of this.
Yeah, folk hero shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's like it's hard to.
I heard he picked a tree up. You know what I mean? That's the kind of shit.
I was gonna say, if we, like you said, if we were gonna be super performative and put him at F, maybe that's not fully fair. I was thinking E, where I'm like, because we might get better people, and do we want to have him at C potentially later on with like, I don't know, like
sure,
we get someone like Will Smith, the actor, and you're like, fuck, do we put Will Smith at C with Daniel Boone? Like, is that fair to Will Smith? You know, I know we're metagaming early. How else would it be? You know,
we could meet in the middle and do D. Meet in the middle and do D.
Let's do it.
D for Daniel.
Maybe we're gonna get
or B for Boone. Also, it also dawned on me as well as I typed this in. For a fact that like the type of people would be like, it needs to be called Columbus Day, and how dare you dog shit about the founding fathers. Everything we're talking about definitely would see some passing passage about some dude in ancient China and be like, that dude's fucked. And have those people have the same response of like, dog, he was like, Bob, like, or I think of like Lu Bu, the Chinese general. He's in fucking Dynasty Warriors games. He's a mythological figure of Chinese history. Dude's probably killed a whole lot of innocent people and raped a lot of people. It's the same kind of thing. But you can't be like, he's awesome. But
be like Napoleon or Genghis Khan,
absolutely.
Where it's like, where do you?
I don't think anyone's celebrating Genghis Khan, to be fair, but I understand what you're saying.
Like there's like video games about Genghis Khan and movies about Genghis Khan, and like you said, it's like the. But I also like, once again, I don't want us to come across as like being like, all right, well, he had like some good stuff, and that's why we're putting him there. We're putting him there because of like there is some aspects of interesting things there. I think that's we'll try to be consistent on that. Except when, if we get like a straight up Nazi, then obviously we put
well, then there's not really much to redeem there, unless he like was the one that like suicide bombed a Nazi factory, and be like, all right, so then you did something at the end there, but
I'm sure we can be criticized for D is what I'm saying, and maybe you're right.
Whatever. Sorry, folks, for our first episode having the boring history rules needed to be put in place right away, but,
We'll try. But our next one is a familiar one, random nouns. We used to have another one that was like an object or something, and I'll say that one's been removed because I felt like it was
that the Twitter one?
Boring. Nope, we have daily object, don't worry. I thought we had too much object ones, and I feel like random nouns has been low-key a real good player in this game because we've gotten some crazy ones. Like, for example, the example here is existence, which would have been a crazy one to debate on. We've gotten some really very broad things. We've got some very specific things. It really is the most random, I feel like, except for Wikipedia, of our list here. So let's hit this button. Apparel.
Okay. And this is clothing for folks that are maybe unawares.
Yes.
Listen. We're all wearing it. We all have to, whether we want to or not. It's a fact of life. Some of us do it better than others. I happen to be one of those that do it better than others. You're not wearing a Final Fantasy pre-order trucker hat.
Right.
That hurts my head, but I'm wearing it as a bit for this episode and probably not much else. You could be fun with it. You could be boring with it. You could be anal about it. You can be pretentious about it. You could be so nonchalant it's kind of schlubby about it. Or you could be perfect, like me. A red plastic T-shirt. I think this is not made of anything
You can maybe
natural.
Underconsume it, maybe.
Yeah,
arguably.
I mean, who needs underwear, right? Underconsume.
Could be a representation of where you're from. Could be a representation of your culture. I think those could be interesting. Like when you see someone wearing a certain pair, they'll be like, oh, they're in that scene, right? It is kind of,
and that's kind of
identity based.
The angle to take this is because this isn't clothing, right? This isn't clothes. This is apparel. This isn't fashion. This is apparel. So we're talking about the garments themselves in a way that is more than just the base elements of them. So I think this is a little bit more interesting. If we, what if we also get clothing? You have to differentiate them somehow, right? So to me, yes, this is an outfit, right? This is someone's active choice at what they wanted to wear, and not just be like, I'm just going to throw on a red T-shirt. I have to be on a stupid podcast. You know what I mean? I don't know anyone who would do that, but you know what I mean. Right. So like, there's some active of choice there.
Yeah.
So I think that would raise it up a bit beyond, because if we were to be clothing, we could. One of the things that we are not doing with apparel that I would do with clothing is get into the necessity aspect, the weather aspect. It's so freezing cold, so fucking hot, that type of stuff. Like none of that is
have clothing, right?
Right.
Yeah,
none of that is in a discussion here for apparel. We are talking about the active choices one makes and how they want to express themselves through the language of clothes. But not too pretentious as to be like it's fashion. Talking apparel. I will say, if I close my eyes and someone says the word apparel to me, I'm thinking red flannel shirt, a scarf. I'm thinking not Tim's, but those colors of boots.
Yeah.
I'm thinking fall clothing. I don't know, but that's just one thing that pops in my head.
I actually, weirdly enough, thought the same thing, but I think that maybe goes to where we're from, and that would be like, I would argue that would be the general apparel of upstate New York, or just being more rural, right? Is the flannel, is the kind of more farmer, blue collar look. Like, you could wear a Carhartt and own it, you know what I mean? But if you wore Carhartt, and you're in like LA, I'd be like, you don't know ball. Sorry, you don't. And I know people are getting really mad, actually, because Carhartt's been doing more like everyday clothing, or like trying to be also like fashionable, like, but not in like the sense you're thinking of.
I have a Carhartt.
I met someone before who has a Carhartt like they look. I thought they were like designer like shoes, and they're like, oh no, it's Carhartt, and I was like, oh really? So they're getting into that game, and then some of the diehard Carhartts are like, no, this is blue collar shit. We can't be doing. We make it for the working man and make it durable, because they're worried about if they get into fast fashion, the durability of what Carhartt's known for might be lessened because it'll be made cheaper and faster. Which sure. I kind of agree with that. It's like, we want high quality apparel. If you're out in the woods, or you're a hunter or something, you want that good shit. You don't want to be cold.
I don't know. The hat I have is gray. It's like this, and it's got like the square blue fake classic leather thing that says Carhartt on it.
Or it's like Timberlands, right? Like they're
that was always like, yeah. I definitely remember having a Timberland sweatshirt or hoodie. I think it was a brown hoodie. And it just had like that tree thing, and it says Timberland there in high school. And this one stupid girl, and I can say that now because we're like twice the age we were in high school. Literally, oh my god, I said that as a joke, and now it's true. Oh my god, who like, it's just dumb. But her name was Sarah. For you would probably know who you're talking about. And we're in biology, and she's just dumb. But within that like popular clique of like, those types of things matter, and the fashion stuff matters, whatever. She saw the hoodie and said, "Oh, I like your hoodie," but like only by looking at the logo did that register for her to like it. And it was such the brand name thing. It was like, this is just a brown hoodie. There's nothing special.
I mean, there's a whole thing with like Nike will charge you $30 more than it should be because it has their freaking swoosh on it, and the swoosh is not even stitched anymore. I have old shorts, old Nike shorts where the logo is stitched and it still looks like I bought it. But nowadays, if you buy it, you throw it through the wash and dryer, it just peels off.
Made fast.
So
yeah,
made fast. I part of me wants to put this at C, and I feel like that's kind of boring, but I just feel like we could get some really good B's and A's, but like, I don't know, maybe that's just
I was thinking
B. I'm fine putting at B. I was fine putting at B, but we have the 3 spots at C for something a little bit more like not saying this isn't exciting, but I feel like it's on the lower edge of exciting for me.
It's weird the way I have the list written out, where instead of saying F spot A or whatever, or F spot 1, it's just the letter, because that's when I was testing out the spacing on everything. I just did that. It looks like we have way more.
If folks who are new, we don't put tiers within the tiers, at least not yet. But
we never did, and it was never a thing. But you and David got in your heads that was a thing, and
I think it'd be cool, make it more tough. But
it's more complicated than it needs to be. Who cares? The whole idea of the tiers is saying, hey, these are all one and the same. It doesn't fucking matter. Otherwise, we would rank a list. We would have a ranked list. We're not doing that. It's tiers. And this is S Rank the Podcast. It should be called S Tier the Podcast, technically, if we want to go through my logic. But I'm okay with, I could do C. That's fine. Why not? A.
Yeah. Like I said, it feels a little safe, but,
you
know, episode 1, season 2. It's only our second one. We don't have to be as bold yet.
The hotkey for instantly exporting the Illustrator image is Control-Alt-E. That's such an uncomfortable thing to do with my hand that I never do that. And I still go to File, Export for screens. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Our next one is another fan favorite. Daily Object, the Twitter account, which is still going. They have not tweeted for today yet. It's August 5th as of this recording. They haven't tweeted yet. So they gotta... I hope this is not the day that we caught the day they stopped. That'd be crazy if we caught it the day they stopped. But we're going to do a 1d12 like we've done in the past. I think that works best because it gives us a pretty wide range. All right. 6. So we're going to scroll to our 6th one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. A moonstone.
Okay. I saw that. I'm like, is that like the silicone blob they put in titties? I had a look at the text for a second there. Moonstone. So what? Like to evolve a Pokemon? What is a moonstone in actuality?
That's the moonstone.
It's in all caps, let's how Google Pokemon would.
We're gonna Google it. All caps. Moonstone. I'm assuming it's a type of stone. Moonstone is a sodium, potassium, aluminum silicate of the feldspar group that displays a pearly and opalescent schiller. An alternative name for moonstone is hectolite, from the goddess Hecate, however you say that. I always forget how to... Hecate? What feels right?
It's Hecate?
I'm bad with Greek shit. After watching the Odyssey, I'm like, I can't. And I'm reading it. I'm reading the Odyssey too right now, and I'm like, I can't say these out loud. I'm. Thank God I didn't read it in English class like some other people have, because I'd be embarrassed.
I think she was in Hades 2. I didn't play that one.
Hecate.
It's not Hecate. It's not Hecate. It's definitely 3 syllables. Hecate. But then that sounds like I'm trying to throw some sort of Japanese pronunciation on it as a white boy. So I don't know. H.
Folks, put it in the chat.
Lady
H.
H. In the
chat.
Okay, so it is an actual rock.
This one just looks more like a polished up spherical, it's like one that you hold for good luck or something. Let me see if does it have any, like, oh, here you go. Moonstone polished in Cabochon.
Cabochon?
Cabochon. So it looks like, you can make it look nice. So it's like almost like a...
So it's a gemstone.
Jewelry.
More or less, it's a cheap gemstone. But cool. Yeah, like opalescent.
It's the Florida State gemstone. Like you said, gemstones. It's the state of Florida's gemstone because it was designated in 1970 to commemorate the moon landings. That's cool.
Okay. Let's say it looks nice. But it is a gemstone.
Compared to other, I'm not moved compared to other gemstones as much. I like the name, but unless it really did come from space,
or it was the Pokemon intrigued. One where it's like, yo, dog, you have a Nidoking now. Why did Nidorino evolve with a moonstone? What's the...
Are they aliens? Have we thought about that? Maybe they're aliens.
Clefairy is supposed to be an alien. At least it was back then, in the lore.
I think this is a easy E.
An E?
Personally.
Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, because honest to God, if you're like, yo, look at this ruby, you'd be like, yeah, pretty sick. But this one, you can't even see through it.
If I told you I had like real sapphire, I think you'd be more impressed than if I said I had a moonstone. You'd be like, is that from the moon? I'm like, oh no. You'd be disappointed.
Oh, sure. You would say moon rock, I guess. Yeah, I'm okay with E. We can go with E.
Okay.
Also, by the way,
moonstone.
I chose the font we were using for the thumbnails for these episodes for the text there. Everything's in caps. It makes it very easy. I don't have to worry about intercapping anything. It's all Moonstone is Moonstone. Nice. I made a lot of design decisions, and
I like them.
Saw something that's the text is tall and condensed and all in caps, and that was the one for us.
Granted,
it's called confetti.
Smaller...
It's called Confetti Western.
I was gonna say it gives me a Western vibe. Almost looks like the Angels, Anaheim Angels. Shout out, the Orioles are playing them right now. Actually, maybe that's why it's on my mind. But it has that A. Their A always kind of had that Western, look to it. Even though they're supposed to be, I'm assuming maybe the Angels mean something. I don't know. Whatever.
Angels in Los Angeles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but. On to our first new one. Ethan, okay. I present to you a random animal generator.
Oh, great. Okay.
So, and these come with pictures. We're going to generate one animal. I've tested this, and it gets pretty specific. So it's not just going to be like lion. It'll be like African lion. Like it'll tell you, I think, from what I remember, it's a little bit more species focused. So we might learn about some new animals. I'm hoping with this. It's like we're watching Animal Planet. All right, we're learning. We're
remember the old Animal Planet logo that had the elephant.
Yeah,
their new one sucks.
Remember when Animal Planet talked about animals?
Yeah, well, reality TV is much more lucrative.
Finding Bigfoot was on there, and it was fire. All right, or is still fire.
The Discovery Channel had that Ancient Aliens dude on it, or was it History Channel? We stopped caring.
That was history.
That's insane. The History Channel should be real history, not like pseudoscience. Come on. An Animal Planet should have real animals.
On Facebook, so
not Bigfoot. Whatever.
Here we go. Let's hit generate animals. All right, image not available. What the fuck? I had this. Okay, we're gonna Google this, but it does give us facts, by the way, too, which is really cool, which I know it's hard to see here. You can zoom in, make it a little bit easier. So yeah, Anna's hummingbird, I'll look up a photo in a second. Habitat, birds, obviously. Diet, nectivore. So, eats all that nectar, eats the flowers. Lifespan's only 3 to 5 years. Weight, 0.15 to 0.25 ounces. Top speed, though. This is interesting.
That's small even for a hummingbird.
Yeah, it sounds small. Top speed, 30 miles per hour. I guess this is as fast as
us at our peak, I think.
Yeah. So imagine that thing. If that thing wanted to, it could do damage. Like Angry Birds, it could just fly in there and knock your whole building over, maybe. Let's Google this just so we get a picture, because maybe that could be a difference maker for us. All right, I think it's like your standard. Yeah, it's a North American species named after Anna Messina, the Duchess of Rivoli. It's native to western coastal regions of North America. Rivoli. Pretty.
Okay, it's got
I like the pink. I like the almost like it looks like fish scales. It's kind of crazy. Fuchsia
plumage. Now, is that the male or the female?
I like the color palettes they picked. I think this is a female.
Usually the male birds that are colorful and the females that are plain. Because look at the one on the bottom left.
Maybe it's regional too. Could be matching the floral.
Okay, yeah.
I say
looks like a standard hummingbird to me.
Yeah, I like the colors they chose. They picked out. Speaking of apparel, they got it down, in my opinion. They don't look dangerous. They don't look intimidating. which is good because they're kind of dainty, a little small. I'm worried if I hit one, they would be fatal.
Sure. I've never seen, not that I've looked, to be fair, but never seen photos of them standing. So sometimes it's kind of like, they do have feet.
This is it, man. I mean, they have little feet. All that feet. Sorry, the feet is carrying all that. Damn.
Yeah, it's the same about mine.
I think. Is this more exciting than apparel? Are we putting this in B or C?
I would say this is a C. I mean, like, listen, when the name popped up, it said Anna's Hummingbird. I was expecting something strange. Maybe hummingbirds are about that weight, and I'm just seeing a fraction of an ounce and being like, that's smaller than normal, but maybe that is about the size. This just looks like a normal-ass hummingbird. I think hummingbirds are cool, though, so I'm not going to say, you know what I mean? If we were ranking birds on this scale, they're a B-tier bird. Owl is the S rank.
Fair.
You know what I mean? So they're an upper echelon of birds, but this looks like just a hummingbird. So
okay, I'm with you. I was just saying, like, is it better than apparel? Do we how much higher up are we going? Because for me, I was around to C, but I was like, I could hear an argument for B depending on what else goes in C. But I'm okay putting a hummingbird, Anna's hummingbird.
2 N's in Anna's.
Yep.
Okay.
Like bananas.
Yep. There's more than 2 N's in
bananas hummingbird. All right. Now we go to Wikipedia. This is our example. Samuel Bellamy, our English sailor turned pirate. Golden Age of piracy. Black Sam Bellamy. Bellamy. Let's do random article, and we'll see what we get. Our most chaotic, neutral thing, or generator on this thing. We go through it twice. It's one of our bigger, scary ones.
Mm-hmm.
See what we get. Interesting. We got Orchids, the International School, Bengaluru, also known as Orchids Bengaluru, is a co-educational chain of private K-12 schools operating in multiple branches in Bengaluru. Bengaluru. Why aren't the photos working? We can't get one photo of the school.
Karnataka, India. Okay.
Yeah. The chain has over almost 32 branches. So I guess it's it's private. How do we feel about private school? I think that's where we got to start with this one.
Okay. Honest facts or honest opinions? Not honest facts. Honest opinions.
Give me your honest
I think private schools are neutral. I think there's a lot of uppity, especially in this country, because if you go to like Europe and like it's all boarding schools or the private ones, and there are some of those in like New England area here. Private schools, I think, honest to God, are neutral. There are ones that are uppity, the money's being spent there, and it's kind of just being spent there for prestige and not really for what the facilities or the professors, as they might refer to themselves as, can provide as a service for your child. That's often can be used as a way to segregate yourselves out of the lower class people, keep your kid away from them, et cetera, et cetera. But there are plenty of quote-unquote normal private schools that just have programs that aren't in public schools. You know what I mean? Like, I played a few months ago at this point, Life is Strange. That's a private school that has a photography class. We ain't getting that in a normal public school. So that, I think it's neutral. And there are private schools near me that are low. I know that they are low. Not low, maybe not low income, but they are low on what they can do. And they might be worse off than the public schools, but that's kind of like what we're doing. I think charter schools are a different story, and this is private schools, so I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm pretty similar. I think I lean towards a negative opinion, but I think it's just because of like the ones I'm aware of are usually like,
because usually like, oh, you think you're better than public schools? Yeah. So I
either
get
you're
that.
better or they're conservative leaning. So it's like especially nowadays with our current pseudoscience world, our anti-intellectualism that we're currently at, that like I'm not going to send my school to public schools. They teach woke shit there. I'm going to send them to the Charlie Kirk University or whatever that they're calling it.
But at the same
now.
time, too, like, you know, there are plenty of public schools that just don't get the funding because it comes from taxes. And depending on the area, you might literally be, your school might look the same as the one your grandparents went to because they ain't really doing anything.
Between, I mean, our school, like, I know maybe when we were there in person or when we were doing it, it was like whatever. I mean, I was part of this program, but like our school was one of the first to get the IB baccalaureate program, which has more pros than cons, I think. Pros was that like you could use those credits towards applying to an international college and, you know, going to like school in Scotland or something, and you could get credits for it. I theoretically could have graduated college early because I had some credits from high school that I could have graduated early. I didn't, but I could have. And that's pretty cool. Considering where we're from and whatnot, it easily could have just been a whatever high school.
Right.
So I respect that we had a pretty decent, I would say, education. Compare that to something in Kentucky, like one of the most least educated states, for example, where, you know, it's like
where Daniel Boone was from, or Explorer.
But I'm saying, or it's how certain states have certain laws of how certain things are taught, and I think that's, and I think it goes back to just
and
like
private schools can get around that if they want to.
Yeah, and it goes back to like what is the purpose of education? Say all this for me to say, if this is one of the photos, one of the things, I think it looks pretty colorful. I like that. It's, you know, in our day and age where everything's a box store, it does have a box design, but at least it looks colorful. These kids have matching shirts. That seems pretty fun. They look like they have a nice turf field here. I don't know. If I saw this and like my kid was going here, I'd be okay. Like I'd be like, all right, this looks cool. That's all I feel like we can really base this off of. They have 32 branches, so it's not huge, but they seem to cover a decent amount of ground.
And we are talking, I guess, about this one specific private school organization.
Oh, here you go.
They have 30 of them. I will just say, like, hey, and if your private school sucks, then you can just send your kid to public school. Like, you have that fallback option, you know what I mean? Where if the public school sucks, then, well, can you afford a private school, or are you going to move? Are you going to move? You're not going to move.
It says they do nursery to grade 12. I don't know if nursery counts as kindergarten or not. I'm assuming it does. Maybe preschool is what they mean by nursery. I'll say, though, that the curriculum has STEM-related activities, including coding, robotics, astronomy sessions, and project-based work. Students also learn Python and tools such as Pygame and OpenCV. They have activities linked to National Space Day. I'll say we didn't have any of that kind of shit, really, in our school. That sounds pretty rad. I know we would go to, like, the planetarium or, like, the Museum of Play or whatever, and that was cool, but, like, you know, I don't think I would have been successful at learning Python because my brain does not operate in that way. But
yeah, I mean, we learn just C. Like, Python is what, I don't know. That just seems like they made a choice there. They have, I don't know, but I think honestly, student fees. There we go.
Hold on. Here, December 2024, the Mysore Road branch was accused of allegedly confining students over unpaid fees, triggering complaints to education and child protection authorities. The school denied the allegations.
That's all we know so far? And then instead to be like, no, you're a prisoner here until your parents pay for it.
You didn't pay up, so they put you in a padded room, and they're like, have fun for the next 8 hours. Like,
whenever
crazy.
The padded cell room it gets mentioned, I think of Miss Puff in that episode of SpongeBob, which has my favorite joke in all of SpongeBob. And I'm not going to elaborate because it's going to be the name of a podcast I want to do, and I don't want it stolen. So anyway, all right. Orchids, the international school.
Let's just put Orchids down. We'll know what we're talking
school,
about.
Yeah.
Orchid school.
I'm thinking C or D.
I don't think it's more interesting than Moonstone for me. And it sounds like a decent school system outside of the maybe confining students who have not paid up, which is crazy. But I'm assuming, They would have a longer blurb on Wikipedia. I feel like if it was a really serious allegation.
Let's do D. Let's just do D.
Yeah.
I think it's actually impressive
since we don't
that
have a
there's
personal experience
somewhere in the 30s of these out there that suggests to me they might be one of the top dogs. Of course, India is population-wise number 2, so it might not be,
Kids scored above 490 out of 500 in grade 10, 1 out of 6.
Okay, that's 16%, right? Is that 16%? 18%?
One of the best schools in Bangalore. W. Apply now. We can apply right now.
There is one angle that we can't really speak to beyond what we know from like pop culture, I guess, and maybe some anecdotes you hear from individuals on social media. But like, there is the whole like Indian parents like obsessing over their child's education success and requiring you got to be a doctor, you got to be this, you got to be that.
But this
and
is
if it's a private school,
this isn't even.
Yeah, because they might the parents might have those kids at gunpoint. Like, not literally, but you know what I mean? Like, I can't speak to that, though, so I don't know. That's just what you kind of hear.
It seems to be very much, like, tied to, like, AI. It literally says world shaped by AI. I'm, like, that,
They might just be
we're talking about, like, Python and stuff. But I'm saying they're doing, like, web development and, like, app-based work, it sounds like. But anyways, on to our new one. Another new one we have here. Did I go too far? Yeah, I did. Okay. We have concepts.
Okay.
From Giant Bomb.
I remember suggesting
you sent me a couple Giant Bomb ones, and I thought this one was the best one because it has the most wide range of things. Has some video game stuff, but also just like subjects, like undead, for example. I think that was a pretty good one. There's 87 items, so we'll roll a 1d87 and see what we get. And luckily the website's working well, because there was one day when I was looking up all this stuff and my internet was just being slow. But I thought, I'm like, God, this is never going to work if all these websites now are just really slow. And I realized it's just my internet. So here we go. 87, and we stop. 73.
Okay.
All right. I think we'll have to go to the last page.
They did in the change in the website. It's pageified, which probably makes sense for the sake of a load. But 73.
Oh nope, we need to go page 7, maybe. Sexualized women. Oh my God. Oh, but it was fucking 8. I should have stuck with my gut. And I was like, oh, it's only a couple. What was it?
73.
Games based on literature.
Okay. How many are there? The example is The Witcher, which is true.
Let me see what this... games based on literature, this does not include licenses or another adaptation.
Right, like a Star Wars game based off a book, I don't think
gives a bunch of games here. Oh, here, look at this list.
Damn.
Good chunks right here.
Clifford
the Big Red Dog reading. Okay,
that was the power of the old Giant Bomb wiki from back in the day. Is everything was tagged, and so you could just tag a game. Those games probably got tagged as based on literature, and so this becomes a page. You know what I mean? And that's interesting. I think it's cool because we know it's classic for games based on movies and TV shows from our era of licensed crap to be crap. You know what I mean? But like very rare would you see one based on a book, especially one that isn't based on a kid's book. Because then that's where you could be like, well, it's Clifford the Big Red Dog is a multimedia property because I knew of it as a cartoon, and then realized, there's books, I guess. Or Berenstain Bears, I guess is the same thing. Or Berenstein. What are some of the examples? Just read some off for us.
I'm trying to see if there's anything like I recognize. I mean, Conan, but I'm like, once again, that's
I'm seeing a bunch of Agatha Christie. I had an Agatha Christie game for the Wii. It was an adventure game. I can
zoom in, by the way, just a little bit more. Like it says Assassin's Creed. What I mean, Altair's Chronicles, maybe like Altair's Chronicles was a book at first. Alice in Wonderland, sure.
Yeah.
None of these are really like Call of Cthulhu, I guess. Sure.
Or
Dracula. I mean, yeah. Dr. Seuss.
Beyond Good and
Dr.
Evil was a
Jekyll and Mr.
book.
Hyde.
This was the Ubisoft
Guess
game
so.
with a pig sidekick. Weird.
Disney's Chicken Little.
Yeah, I guess Chicken Little was a book and then became that kind of weird.
I mean, there's a view all. Let's see if it's. Oh my God, there's over 500. I mean, we could be here all night. Angel Beats.
What's that super long one?
Yeah.
Wait, scroll down. Keep going. What's that?
Read
the whole thing out. You're the host.
Baba Badal Gatakama Naran Kan Bran Tan Ron.
Some German.
And then it just keeps going. A short retro first-person shooter by Terry Kavanagh and Incripair, containing references to the works of James Joyce. Its title is a word invented by Joyce in his novel Finnegan's Wake. Sure. Cool.
Okay.
Anyways, what do we feel about?
Yeah. I think it's neat. I think the fact that The Witcher is the only one that I could think of, and that's in part because it is the example image there, goes to speak about how many of them are like, yeah, I mean, I guess there were Agatha Christie ones. Yeah, there are Sherlock Holmes games. Those are mystery adventure games. The Sherlock Holmes ones are neat.
There's not any big,
but
like,
there's
AAA, like,
Lord of the Rings games, but they're mostly based off the movie. I have for PS2. I think do I still have it? Yeah, I have the Hobbit video game well before the movie trilogy. So this was like based off the books, and all that jazz. And so I guess that counts. But then I think Return of the King. Was actually like a good video game, but that's based on the movie, and so like
I had it. It was good. I can confirm.
So putting that stuff aside, like it's neat in theory. There's just got to be more of them. You know what I mean? Just you know.
I mean, yeah, I think there should be more like The Witcher, where it's like it hasn't been adapted to a movie or anything. Just like we're gonna take a stab at.
There are higher highs and lower lows with movie adaptations. Unfortunately. I think those are more exciting.
So I think, yeah, but I think I'm intrigued by it. I like The Witcher generally. I'm not gonna say I have a huge experience with it. I have the third one on Switch, and I liked the show up until what's his name left.
Yeah, Superman
kind of was a buzzkill to me. Like, yeah, Superman himself.
Stalling because I can't think of his name. And the name Daniel Radcliffe is
Henry
popping
Cavill.
in my head, and that's not him. Oh, Henry Cavill. Okay.
Do we do B? Are we feeling more like compared to Apparel and Anna's Hummingbird? Are we more? Hey, it'd be cool. We like these
because I mean, even us saying we would like more of these implies like, yeah, this is cool. I just want more. Because I want
that it's somewhat good.
Because here's the unfortunate thing, Devin. If a book is big enough to become a video game, it's already become a movie or a TV show. I have, for PlayStation 2, James Cameron's Dark Angel, because my mom bought that because she liked watching that TV show. That was a book. Or James Patterson's. Or
like
James,
The Witcher,
James Cameron,
The Witcher, I guess, is more of a outlier than a pattern.
Right. That was a company, because I played that first Witcher game for a few hours, and that was on PC. It's such a PC-ass PC game, and I wish more PC games were PC-ass PC games that were trying to be RPGs and not like... Because you could just use a mouse.
Is it like OG Fallout?
No.
Kind of like that? Like how it plays?
No, you're a 3D guy running around, but it's click to move. You can use the keyboard, but like all of your menu and everything that would be like buttons on a keyboard or a controller are also in the HUD to click. And so it's very much about...
Okay.
The combat is literally going... to a rhythm, and that's it. It doesn't matter where you're clicking, just that you're clicking. And now I have Laura Mipson several times around on this document. It was a cool game. It was very much like the property was cheap as fuck. The author did not give a shit really about their continuity because he could just say, no, it's not that's because, like, spoilers for the end of the books, I guess. Geralt dies. The game picked up right after that. Actually, no, he was just severely injured and has amnesia. And so the games can have their own Geralt or whatever, because he's got amnesia, and so he's kind of building his identity back up until by 3, I guess he's fully known. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And now those are way more popular than the books ever were. So that kind of, I don't know how the author thinks about that, but yeah, play it. Why not? Give it a shot. There's actually been in the works for a couple of years now a remake of the Witcher 1 video game, but I don't think it's by CD Projekt Red. I think they outsourced it because they're doing Witcher 4. Why not do B? Let's do B.
Let's do B, yeah. Games based on literature.
Based on literature.
Or even like literature games if you need to fit it better.
What about just games based on books? That fits perfectly.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess literature games would imply maybe it would be like
text adventures, really heavy, you know.
Yeah. So that's fair. All right. So we're going through, this is our 7th one, then we're going to go through it one more time. We'll try to go a little quicker. I know it's a longer episode, but, you know, this is the first one back. It's like, you know, it's like, you know, you were watching HBO, the first episode will be an hour and 20 minutes because they really want to get you invested. Then the next one will be 35 minutes for some reason, and you feel gypped. I hate that shit. Where it's not consistent. Just craft it to fit in 45 minutes, please. We got to go back to 24-minute episodes to fit in a 30-minute time slot.
Even shows I
like, I highly regard on like Apple TV, like Widow's Bay there. Great. But then some episodes are like, one will be 45 minutes, the next one will be 30. And I'm like, what are we doing? Stop. Like, the pacing is good. Like, what are we doing? Stop.
Apple TV is so crazy because, like, someone randomly will bring up a show and it's like, I've never fucking heard of that in my life because they never advertise it. But it's insanely good. Everyone's 16, like, this is awesome. You know what I mean?
16 Emmys? Yeah, dude. Widow's Bay is awesome. It's a good comedy horror.
I remember you talking about it on a podcast you do on this channel. You can srank.city to see the channel called Devin's Movie Dungeon. Listen, my summer has been busier than I expected.
It's just a bunch of tier lists. There's a wall. It's just like
srank.city just redirects to the YouTube channel. It's supposed to be a website, but I've been so busy this summer that I have had no time.
It's an easier way than being like, go on YouTube, search it up, and hope it pops up. So.
srank.city. Yep, tell your friends. Subscribe.
All right. And then, so our last one here, our new one, which I think, like I said, this is going to be the 50-50 one.
Oh, this is number 7?
Yes. Good and bad life experiences.
Okay.
So this is the same website where I found Leia's list. So I went on Leia's user, and she had a couple other lists because I was hoping maybe we could keep her in the rotation. Her other lists weren't as strong as her first one, things that Leia loves.
She did put her name on the best one. It's not bad. Smart, actually.
She did. But basically, I clicked on her name, and then I clicked on the main website, and there really isn't that many lists out there. There's just a lot of random stuff. But so this list is made by Kelly, but over 256,000
views. We've upgraded Leia. We got Kelly now.
We got Kelly, but I think there's over 200. There's over 241.
Okay.
Things here. So I was like, I feel like we can use this one.
Sure.
We can use this one pretty well.
Okay.
So yeah, well, what did I just say? Yeah, 244. So we'll see what this one is. Like I said, this was pretty 50-50. I did skim through a couple of the pages to make sure there's nothing crazy on there. There's some shitty ones, though, for sure. There's some ones where I'm like, fuck. So I thought this would be a fun one because everything's pretty much like noun or subject. Where like, here's a type of experience. Is this good or bad? So let's see where we go here. 192. What is that gonna be, like 5?
It's gonna be lower.
Maybe 6. Oh no, it's gonna be at the bottom of 5. 192. Oh, this is awful, dude. Lose a pet.
Oh, damn.
That's F. I mean, I don't think we need to really discuss that.
My dog in 4th grade for a day. She came back in the middle of the night. We don't know how she got out, but she just
got out
of the backyard and
bolt
just was
sometimes. Gone. My dog would smell something Raven there, and she's an Akita, so she was very territorial. But she also would just go on, I guess, hunts. I don't know. She killed a lot of animals, so for me, I was like, I think she would ironically be hunting.
Of course, your dog is bigger.
She almost fought
a coyote.
She almost fought one, and she wasn't really big for an Akita. I do think she was mixed with the collie, though, because I've seen a lot of collies that have her pattern, because she was like black and white as opposed to like other Akitas, which have like some browns in there. So that's my theory of why she was smaller. So yeah, but there'd be times where she like would bolt in the morning, and she would get back at 9:00 at night, being like, "I'm hungry," and covered in like every little like weed seed you can think of.
You gotta check for ticks. You know,
yeah. Ugh. But she was awesome. But so I never lost one like permanently, luckily. But same. I always do get really sad when I see, especially in our neighborhood, I see a lot of signs for like kittens and. Oh, we had a sign for 3 lost chickens, and I'm like, what year is it? I was just like, and it was like on like a cardboard side of a cardboard box. It just said 3 chickens missing. Call this number, and I'm like, that is kind of funny.
Chickens.
Like, how did your chickens get out? And that's a very specific. Like, it's not like where would they have gone? Like, what would they be interested in to get lost?
Yeah, well, they wanted to cross the road. I put lose a pet at F because that's obviously where we're gonna put it.
Yeah,
we can still elaborate a little bit more. Yeah, because I have seen an old sign on the post on the pole, whatever, the wooden pole, the light fixture pole, that just says lost dog, call this number, and it's just like, oh man, because it is such a because our image here is of a stylistically chosen depiction of your classic lost, my dog is lost, sign. It's lose a pet as in they are missing, not like died. Although they probably could be dead as well. So we're going with that there, but like it is. But by the time you've put up that poster, that paper, that whatever,
the odds are
low. It's desperate and it's sad because what else are you gonna do? I remember crying, walking around the neighborhood, calling out for my dog. I remember, and this is very funny, very, very funny. I'm lying in bed, in the dog's bed, and empty at the foot of my bed. Well, I'm sad about it. I'm in 4th grade. And I don't know if this was a plea to the Lord or not, but I said...
Oh, I know where this is going.
Because I've told you the story before. If you bring back my dog, Molly... I will give up my Nintendo game. I did not give up my Nintendo GameCube. I was still playing that shit. Fuck your odds. I win. I get both.
Thank God we don't have the Greek gods in Odyssey, or else it would have struck you down with lightning.
I was inside a house.
For now,
yeah, whatever. Yeah. So it's demoralizing to have to do that for sure.
And I feel bad because we had like some kids in our neighborhood like knock on our door being like, "Hey, have you seen any kittens?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, like I wish I could like make them appear." Like, because I've seen some cats, but I'm like, I haven't seen the kittens you're describing. And it was like near Christmas too, so I think it was like a Christmas gift or something. And I'm like, fuck. And it's cold as fuck outside, so I'm like I just start thinking about all that, and I'm like, that's sad, like just real sad. So yeah, definitely easy F. I think that's pretty.
Thanks, Kelly.
Pretty easy F, but yeah, there's some good ones here. Milk a cow, ride a roller coaster. Just I liked the spectrum of different.
What are those dentures that have just molars?
It just says wear dentures. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, man.
You would have to have a metal like band going around the bottom of your gum to kind of keep them both connected. That sucks.
Yeah.
Listen, I may or may not have know someone that has had all of their teeth pulled out and all of them replaced, and I know what the bill costs for that after insurance. And so I get why you would just do molars and not have all your teeth ripped out and replaced with veneers or whatever. But still, damn. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about.
It's not. But I agree. All right, let's go through it one more time. Here we go. So we got Daniel Boone. Yo, this is a good one.
Here we go. Okay.
Barack Obama. Can we argue that that's our president?
Unfortunately.
It was like our I mean, really, my first election I remember is George Bush, second term. But I'll say there was...
Yes, actually, yeah, same. Mm-hmm.
But I remember we went to D.C. like the year, or like...
Yep, it was 2008.
November after he was elected. And it was a big deal in the school, for sure. I remember a dude named Josh who was on our bus, our little like tour bus, I guess you could say, who brought in I have an Orlando Bloom cardboard cutout, giant cardboard cutout of Barack Obama. This photo, exactly, cut out. And he brought it on the bus, and everyone loved that shit.
I don't remember that. We sat next to each other. We were in the same party. Interesting. Did this Josh have red hair?
No.
Different Josh than I'm thinking about.
Different.
Okay. I actually don't even know if the guy I'm thinking about was named Josh. He seemed like a Josh. I don't know. Whatever.
If I remember, I'll just tell you later.
Listen. Barack Obama. We're at this point now in the political sphere in which it is okay to be like, look, guy sucked. Not in the ways Republicans want to, talk about, but like he sucked in different ways, in ways a lot of presidents often are. He's probably killed more people than Bill. I don't think as many as George. But you know what I mean?
I mean, George is in another atmosphere
of
death.
Just talking about the drone strikes, right, and all that. But a man so symbolic of the Democrat vote that he's used in primaries as like the jingling keys. Look, here's a photo of me, whatever. Haley Stevens had a photo of her with Barack Obama that they knew the day of. We got to throw this out there. We need black Minnesotans or Michigans or whatever state it was to see her and associate her with black or with Barack Obama. Jesus, I almost said Barack Obama, and then I just did Barack Obama. So that you vote like he is used more as a symbol for the Democrat Party. Because all he ever fucking does
is
he's
the king of Democrats easily.
Especially because he's young enough to be alive and conscious and with it. All he does two things. He gets out there and scolds people for not just accepting the fealty that you're supposed to present to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And here are the songs I'm listening to this summer. Jay-Z's
he'll do like
on
one
list
video interview a year where they'll ask him about Trump and he'll make a good joke about Trump. But then I'm also like, but dude, you got involved in
you
Democratic
were alone
primaries.
in a room with him for a long time. You didn't stop him. You knew it was going to be
or
bad.
Just like we know he, especially in 2020, he made sure Bernie was heading to even more of an uphill hill to climb. He's part of the establishment. And I think for me, I used to be kind of a Obama guy for sure because I was young and he was exciting at the time. But yes, in hindsight,
I remember the I Love Obamacare bumper sticker we threw on David's car.
Hell yeah. Oh,
you threw on David's car.
Because I got a couple in the mail.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But I'll say this. Obviously, I think he's the best president we've had in the last minute for sure. Like I think I would take Obama every day of the week. I'm not gonna be lived up here either though. Right. I think reason why I think in a way sometimes like I said I liked him, but then I realized the truth, which is like he had it all and he also sold out to the establishment. He ran on this we are gonna change the world. We're gonna change America for the better. We're no longer gonna like the fact that he was a black man with Hussein in his middle name. Like
Trump
the fact
loves
that he won,
to
it
point
did
that
feel
out,
like
that he's got Hussein in his
name.
name.
I'm saying like with that, we're thinking about a post 9/11 George Bush era to go from that. Going from that to this, it really did feel like we are going to change something, and he didn't. He failed to meet the moment because of
he
either
went out
negligence.
being the most. We cannot change anything. I've said this before, and you know this very well. He could have nominated someone to the Supreme Court. The Senate told him, we will not vote. That doesn't mean the vote is no. They don't need your approval. They vote whether or not they're going to say no. If they say we're not going to vote, that means you don't have to have anyone to say no to you. But he didn't want to break the system. Didn't want to break the system.
His biggest W is on one hand is Obamacare, which was great, but also bad because it wasn't far enough. It didn't challenge the status quo,
and it did not lead to anything else.
Gay marriage, though, awesome. I'm always afraid that that's going to get changed back under
just like Roe v.
Trump
Wade,
here, but and I do think he did galvanize people into politics, which I think is always a good thing. Granted, I think, like you said, though, he's kind of the neoliberal king of I'm not going to say he's the reason Trump exists. I don't think he's the reason Trump exists. I think he's just a continuation of post-Reagan neoliberalism that has led to the huge gap of equity in this country. Not equity, just like wealth, like the under him. We got to remember Occupy Wall Street happened under him, and he sold out to the banks. And I don't think that means you're a hero.
Yeah, it was his government that bailed the banks out. You know what I mean?
Also, Black Lives Matter came out under him. Everyone thinks it was a Trump thing. Nope, it came out under Ferguson, which he was on the side of police in that regard. So I say all this, but at the same time, he has some arguably progressive values and things he does stand for. But maybe the leftists here and say he wasn't far left enough, but like he could have done a lot more with what he had, and he sold us out. And in a way, I think that's why people are more mad about him. But also some people like him because he did help them in their specific ways. But I think the people who are like that can't see why. It's like, no, we had a moment there to really make valuable change, and he just continued the system and painted it with an LGBTQ flag. And that's kind of the vibes we got from him,
Yeah, and
that's why Hillary lost, was because she was a continuation of Obama. She just didn't have the charisma that Obama had to get away with it. So Obama, great speaker though. I think he's one of the best speakers we've had in the last. Also,
just simply by being younger and having a wit enough. You know what I mean? I mean Biden is I don't think Biden would have became president if he wasn't vice president, despite his decades and decades 100%. Of being in the Senate and all that stuff. He was a senator when Reagan was president. And then we got Kamala, which is even more of the distilled shut up and vote for me type of DNC behavior. And I will just say, look, we are agreeing, and I think that a lot of people who might also feel the next thing I'm about to say are also going to agree as well. He certainly, like you said, got people to be more politically active. I think he inspired a lot more people. I think the fact that there was a black president at all was inspiring enough to get people to be like, well, maybe I do have a shot. You could argue that maybe some of the people who have won some of these primaries recently, they maybe in a different universe might have never 100%. Thought to do it if there wasn't 100%, him there, despite all of that. And we can't speak to the experience, you know what I mean, of that. But
I think, like I said, he's the best president we've had in the post-Reagan era. And I say post-Reagan just because I think that was when neoliberalism fully won. There was a pre-Reagan and there was a post-Reagan, on the Democrat side. Because before Reagan, you had Carter, who I'd argue is somewhat more progressive in a lot of areas than Obama was, and just was too ahead of his time. Not saying he was great though, but he was
Carter
way different.
Pardoned the most people out of any president.
Carter believed in climate change before it was called climate change. These kind of things where it's like, He had solar panels on the White House, dude.
Oh yeah. David and I and another friend of mine were playing a video game called Marathon, and something popped up about Trump pardoning people. So I looked up then on Wikipedia list of presidents pardoning people sorted by who's done it the most, and Carter's at number 1 by just a significant amount. Biden, I think, is like number 2 or 3. Trump is lower than Biden, but Carter's number 1 because he pardoned all those draft dodgers. He pardoned them all, which it was like 200,000 people that he pardoned. Obama's up there somewhere too. Anyway, C?
But
or B?
Yeah. I'm like, do we put it B just based off of where this list is going? Like, is it?
It might have to.
He's impactful, but that makes me feel like I'm a big Obama head, which I don't want to look like I'm that. But this list already is looking in that direction where like it's leaning more towards on the neutral to negative end, if that makes sense.
Let's put him at B. We have a swap. You know
what, Barack? I'll say it. You're invited on the show. You're a war criminal, but you're invited on the show. It's like
we'll take the ratings bump. Absolutely, we'll take the ratings bump. B for Obama.
I'm gonna put myself at S.
Yeah.
B for Barack Obama.
Just had to check to see if the R and the K went over the line, but they don't. Okay, good. Listen, I spent too long on this. Get too anal about stuff. All right.
Maybe we spent too long on Obama. I'll say it. All right, let's give us a random noun that we can.
Remember when Clint Eastwood yelled at an empty chair at the RNC and pretended Obama was sitting in it performatively? Anyway, go on.
No.
This is the 2012 election.
Or when Obama drank the Flint water, that was crazy.
When he drank it, yeah.
Random noun: trousers.
You went from apparel to specific apparel. Their pants. See? I don't know. That's just what you call nice-ish pants.
I think
they're not
E.
jeans.
Yeah.
E? Fine, we'll put it at E. Trousers.
Because like C is too high. I'm like, who cares? Like, I don't know. I mean, trousers is a funny word. It feels very British. I think I'm thinking of
sure. There's a weasel in my trousers. Yeah.
Or Wallace and Gromit. My trousers, I feel like he said, because he had the mechanical trousers with the penguin. Trousers, yeah, it's a funny word though.
That penguin.
But I think E. I don't love it at there. Maybe if everything else goes well, maybe trousers does go to B or something
with Obama. Let's see how the rest of this list plays.
I was gonna say Daniel Boone, maybe, but sure. Barack Obama goes down with trousers. Stops with trousers. All right. Let's go back to the top here. Oh, see, it just posted. We saw this live. Bagpipes just posted. That's crazy. Got to see it happen real time, folks. 1d12. 1. Perfect.
Okay, well, the new thing.
Bagpipes. Where we putting bagpipes?
Such a weird instrument. It's highly specifically. How do you make this?
It looks really.
How do you craft the bag to be the specific size to get the perfect tones that you need? A weird instrument that someone was playing with like a freaking cow stomach and saw it made noise. You know what I mean?
And they're like, oh my God, this is crazy.
I was making cheese in this thing, but like, look, if I blow into the stick, you know what I mean? Like how it's cool. It's extremely specific to a culture thing, but like everyone knows what bagpipes are. Very few people appreciate them. I find the sound to be kind of obnoxious unless it is within the very specific, like
the military funeral that you requested that when you pass away, you told me make sure the bagpipes are loud and clear.
I want everyone to line up with a baseball in hand and dunk tank shot to see if they can dunk me in there. And then bagpipes are playing at the same time. That's what it is.
Amazing Grace, which Obama sung. See, all full circle there.
Wow. But he wore some trousers. I don't know. This is cool.
They were tan trousers. He's wearing tan trousers.
I wouldn't put bagpipes at A. Man, we're in a weird spot right now. We're like, what are we going to do for an S? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is crazy. Do we put this at C?
It's not F. I feel like for me, bagpipes is B because of just everything else. But I think for right now we have to put it at C, or do we put it at A and just kind of maybe it's a little high, but like maybe that's better than
to metagame it. To metagame it, we're giving ourselves one middle and one lower, and we still have uppers on the list there.
Yeah,
bagpipes at A. Bagpipes is one word or two words?
One word. Okay. It's a bag of pipes.
I mean, yeah.
You should have called it bagel pipes. I think that would have been cool. Bagel pipes.
Okay. All right, what's next?
Random animal.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hope this one has a picture.
Same. Forest cuckoo bumblebee. Lifespan 1 to 3 months. Female queen, male is a drone. Length 0.5 to 1 inch. Top speed not available. This could be going in the speed of light, or it could be going really slow. They haven't measured.
Okay.
It's an herbivore. Forest.
What else would they eat?
Let's see if I can get a better photo because it's a little blurry. It looks like your average bee to me. I'm sure there's big differences if you're really an insect head. I used to be an insect head when I was a kid. These look a little bit more cuter. I don't know how to describe it, but they do look cuter to me.
They don't look like they'd be the big fat bumblebees. Listen.
They almost have like a white stripe here. A little bit different.
Yeah, it may be kind of hard to tell.
They're a White Stripes fans. They
yeah.
They love the band.
Yeah, you can see he's got a red tie on. Remember that was the fashion faux pas that Jack White broke, as he had three-piece black suit with a red tie on.
All of them do have like more of a white to it, so they're like the zebras of the bees.
Maybe they are around me because I feel like I've seen bees that look like that. I think bees are awesome. They are incredibly important to the planet. I don't want them anywhere fucking near me, but at the same time, I ain't gonna kill them. Except I did kill one when I moved into this apartment. I told the story. Did I tell the story? Yeah, I told the story. So. I get in, I sit down in this chair here. I'm like, there's like a knot in my beard. No, it's a big fat bumblebee. I'm like, ah! And like I didn't know what to do, so I crushed him with the plate. No, he was just riding in my beard. I crushed him with a paper plate, because I had just moved.
He's trying to pollinate your beard, dude. He's trying to reproduce you into a plant.
Dude is probably like, oh my god, this is so weird, and then dies. You know, I didn't want to let him go in my house. I didn't know how to. I didn't even have like the cups out of a box, so I didn't have anything to catch him in. I felt bad about that.
I put this at A. Bees was.
Want to put this at A?
I'm okay putting it at A because I was like, it could be C, but I think bees are pretty cool as well. I saw like a shit ton of bees at the. We have the year pass for the botanical gardens here in Denver, and we were there. There was so many bees, but it was like in a cool way where there were just like thousands. It felt like in like every little patch of flowers, and I'm like, it used to be beautiful.
Which one sounded like Jerry Seinfeld?
Trying to make a joke, I can't even. Where's the 16-year-olds at? That's probably what the bee would say.
Yeah, he's probably a pedophile. Does that work the same as allegedly?
What's the deal What's the deal with Epstein? Is what he said. He's like, get me in on that.
Jerry was out recently in some podcaster interview and said that like comedians become worse at comedy when they become physically weaker. And people were dunking on him for like, it's like this dude's talking about being in the Vietnam War.
It's kind of cheesy. I'll actually say that's correct, though. Like, it's hard to be old in generally and be a comedian because
you got to be energetic.
The older you get, you're more out of touch. Yeah, you're also out of touch. I did watch his one stand up back in like 2020, and it really was just like this new generation just can't get off their phones, and I was like, yeah, okay, why am I watching this?
And you told me you hate stand up, so you decided to pick Jerry Seinfeld in 2020.
I'm picky with my stand up, but yeah, I need to be in a certain mood for it. I like it obviously more in person than watching it. Obviously, it's like anything. Watch anything live, it's better. Just like the show one day. We could rank things for 2 hours in front of a studio audience. I'm sure everyone will love that. People are getting booing us, like, no, put it A, put it B, no, put it It's like, and then, shut up.
Exactly. And we turn into Kramer from that show and just start shouting the N-word.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's he suffered enough from that, because he definitely did the whole like, hey, I'm just gonna walk away from this business forever, and he kind of did
himself.
That was the line. He said that like, in an interview. He said, "You don't need to cancel me. I canceled myself," because he has a memoir out about that.
I respect that. You know when it's you're done.
Yeah.
Let's do random article. Our biggest. This is gonna like could change the game. We know how this goes. This one could change the game here. Herbert Grassler, born in 1976, is an Austrian football manager, soccer, and former soccer player, footballer who played as a midfielder. I'll say, it says he's a manager. I don't know of what. Oh, he's currently managing.
Yeah, he's a manager because what happens when you become too old to be a player anymore, and that's your only, career.
Is he? Wait.
You tell other people how to kick the ball.
Wait, he played in 2007, 2009, but then also was a manager in 2007, 2009 of the same team? Is that what I'm misunderstanding?
No, Michael Vick was an American football manager. So
it doesn't say anything past 2015, and he was playing for, Wolfsburger, AC, whatever this is.
Wolfsburger
cool logo,
Athletic
I like
Club.
the wolf. They're RZ Pellets.
You know what their rivals would say about them? Damn, those boys are whack.
Right. They finished third in 2018, but that's not under his tenure. 2015 was his last.
WAC stands for white ass children. Because they're European.
Does it?
Super pasty. Listen, we're putting Herbert at F because we don't know this man. I'm not impressed.
Yeah, he doesn't have a long thing. If you don't have a long
Wikipedia
thing,
is
great.
3 inches on the screen.
I was trying to see if there's anything here on the actual team thing. It doesn't even mention. Whoops, I just closed it. I don't think it mentions Herbert at all. Herbert. It doesn't even mention it on the team. Yeah, you're done. He was not making an impact. So yeah, I agree. Let's put him at F for not making an impact enough that even if I didn't know him, I expect something. And all I got was he played once. Cool.
Good for him. Yeah, he's more successful in his life than we are in ours.
He does have a Wikipedia. That is a sign of fame.
God, I can't wait for us to get pervert.
1D87. 21.
Okay. I'm guessing page 3.
Okay. Sex pervert. Angel.
Okay.
The lowest of all the angelic orders, angels are tasked with delivering God's message to humans in addition to being personal guardians. Angel has also become a generic term for any such kind of heavenly being. Is this photo from Persona or something?
That's from Shin Megami Tensei 3.
Close enough.
Damn, he's got her by the back of the head.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be comfortable. What do we think
I think it's funny that they did Shin Megami Tensei because all of those are all demons. Angel is one of the demons.
Angels are a type of the bad angels.
Listen,
Anaheim Angels again, full circle again.
Yeah, Los Angeles. Yeah. S or C?
We have to put this at either C or S. So the next one we know is good and bad experiences. So do we run the risk of opening S and we have to swap something to S? Or do we put this at S, which doesn't feel great, but maybe, and then hope that the good or bad experience is C, and then we swap S with something else? Maybe the good or bad experience is driving a car, and you're sure, maybe that's C.
every now and then on this program,
this is tough.
We kind of fold our hands over, wring our hands together, knead our thumbs over the concept of feeling a little bit ashamed that we're not putting something idyllic at the top of the list, because that is supposed to be the right thing to do, but no, it looks pretentious if we do so. And that's how I'm feeling right now about Angel, because, like, yeah, there's so many different ways in which you can look at that lens as becomes more than a physical idea, it becomes a metaphor, you know what I mean, for being, like, lucky in a quote-unquote blessed / hey, I'm looking out for you kind of way. It can mean so many different things, and to put it at C does imply that we're like, whatever. And I don't know which way to do it. You know what I mean?
I'll say I'm leaning more S, because I do think angels are cool. And angels be watching this podcast, maybe. They be blessing us,
Like and subscribe. Sometimes you're me
you
could
be the angel
instead.
You could be the angel if you subscribe to the channel. I don't hate Angel at S. I'll say I don't feel pretentious putting it there. I feel like out of everything here, I wouldn't be against having Angel at S, because of just, like, nothing else is really like, oh hell yeah. But Angel's probably the closest thing on here to be being like, oh hell yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like the subject, it's something that in a concept of what an angel is in a lot of things. I feel like
sure,
in art, Batman versus Superman.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. I need to take the stupid hat off. It's leaving a red ass mark on my head. This is not meant to be worn. Stupid hat.
Is it like?
It's all the way loose in the back. It's all the way loose.
Oh damn! Maybe just don't have it. You just cut it off. Just have it open in the back.
And it's just like it's pressing on my forehead in a way that's just leaving a mark. Whatever.
Well, just don't be a trucker then, because you'd have to wear that company policy for 8 hours. All right, this one I feel like could. On the more I look at it, I think actually we're not as bad as I think we are, but I still think we could be in trouble.
We just want more exciting things and more like obvious hell yeahs, and we didn't get an obvious hell yeah. You know? You don't remember how many
244. I am not. It's gonna take me a couple episodes before I can get.
You can always write them down.
87, 244.
Put them in a little note document.
All right, Angels. If you want to stay at S, give us something just right down the middle. 235. Ooh, we're close. 235. Drive a gravel road. That's perfect.
Scroll it up a little bit.
I think that's a C right there. We literally did the whole episode about this.
Yeah.
We did gravel roads. Yeah, I'm okay.
Sure, actually, this works out. Because it's kind of fun, but also it's annoying. I learned how to ride a bike on a fucking gravel driveway. It sucks.
Honestly, riding a bike on a gravel road could be kind of therapeutic. Like the sound, I feel like that could be therapeutic. But driving like a car, that could be kind of annoying after like 20
eventually you're thinking about like the underside of your carriage there. You know what I mean? Is all those going
or just if you're listening to music or a podcast like this one, you're probably like, I have to turn up the volume, and it's just like
pull over
like
right now.
It.
You're listening to us.
Okay, maybe there is Angels, man, because I literally said like driving a car maybe is kind of loosely a C, depending on. I mean, I like driving, but I was like, give me something that's pretty like standard, and I feel like they delivered. They heard my calls, and I'm just like, I'm back. I'm here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Drive a gravel road.
I'm looking at this. What would we swap? I see nothing obvious. Honestly,
is there anything that we can really bring this home? Like to really like?
No.
Is Trousers and Daniel Boone maybe? That's the only one I'm kind of like. I'm not as high on Daniel Boone.
Not really. No, not really.
I think Trousers has more of an impact in society than.
I mean, we could lower Obama, but not by much. I would just swap him down to C. Swap him with Daniel Boone. Yeah, because I don't really have anything. This episode 16, aka season 2 episode 1, has had so many boring things in the middle. In the sense of like, man, we've had some. I mean,
you didn't love bagpipes as much on A. Do you want to maybe change bagpipes?
No.
For me, I'll say
it's more exciting than anything below it. Besides the B, which
I'm
is
surprised
also
you're
A.
not advocating for games based on books.
It's at B. That's pretty good. You know, why not? That's good as B. It's good.
The only one I'm hung up on is I didn't like Daniel Boone at D, but I know we already met in the middle. But Trousers, I'm like, isn't really either that exciting either.
Right, and I don't know. We could drop the school system, but like whatever. You know what? Maybe new season, new us, new attitude. We don't need to use our swap. We're good.
You don't want to use the swap at all. That's crazy.
We don't need it.
Can we pay? Can we
cash it in next time?
Can we bank?
Yeah. Can we have it roll over to the next episode? No.
So we start really going crazy. We're like, fuck it. We're not gonna. This ain't a great list, but we're not gonna use our swap because we want to have 5 swaps.
But then by the time we
second to last
episode
one,
we decide to use it on, because let's say we have a deadline of the season, right? So it's the last episode of the season before we rank everything again. If that's what we want to do, and like they're all shit. So it's like we don't even fucking want to do this. You know what I mean?
I have 5 swaps and I don't even want to use any of them because everything's mid.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I say we don't use the swap. I think this is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just looking. I'm just double checking. Moonstone, not exciting.
The 2 at F are staying there. For sure.
Yeah.
Moonstone and Trousers, who cares? Daniel Boone's and the Orchid School in India.
You ever had a good pair of trousers? Well, now you can with Me Undies. Use our coupon cone S rank to get.
I guess, but then what would you have at E instead? Like, I don't think Daniel Boone needs to be that low. I think the new season, the new us, the new S rank the podcast.
I just don't want to be criticized. For not using the swap.
Write in the comments below your deep thoughts on this. Remember, you were supposed to be playing along at home and writing out your list as it goes.
Maybe we were too nice to like these people, man. Maybe Barack Obama and Daniel both need to get knocked down. Maybe Hummingbird.
But in this instance, what would you honestly put up higher? Honestly.
Trousers, dude. Maybe there's a good pair of trousers out there that has more of an impact on my life than.
No. I'm executive producer of this show. I'm executive producer.
Moonstone. Maybe the Moonstone's better than Daniel Boone.
Boonstone.
Boonstone?
Outro the show. We're done.
Trousers Stone.
You know what? Fine.
All right.
Let's undo all of this and we'll redo the whole episode.
But yeah, folks.
Maybe that's a rule. We get a complete wipe and start over as an option. How would we? I think about that. How would we do that?
For the entirety of this show. We get 1 for the entirety of this show.
Well, we get to the point where we're like, you know what? This all sucks. Let's wipe the slate and start over. You know what I mean? I'm not saying we do that here.
Some sort of punishment.
No swap the next time.
Maybe we lose.
No
Do you want to have a full wipe? I feel like that's not even. I feel like the impact is still way too much. I think it'd be like you get no swap for the next 3. Because if you're going
the next 2, but the third being the one that you are swiping clean.
Yes.
So that one and then the 2 afterwards, no swap.
You're like, we can't add more rules like having tiers within the tiers, but now we're gonna have this like.
Yeah, but this is fun. The other is just stupid, pedantic nonsense. It deflates the idea. But
who knows? Because you're like, maybe games based on books is better than Barack Obama. Maybe it isn't.
They're both B, based on and Barack Obama. B-O-B-O. They fit perfectly there.
All right, I'm okay with that rule. That's a fun. I don't think we'll ever remember to use it unless it's like really bad. But
remind us in the comments and subscribe.
It's a new season. We can establish it because we could theoretically, like Ethan said, wipe this right now, but we won't because I think we did win overall.
It's been almost 2 hours.
Maybe there's one in here I would change. It's been 2 hours, but it's a good first episode. We'll try to get quicker at this, or we'll get longer. Fuck you. Maybe it's longer next time. Maybe these are so good. These debates are so good that we just keep extending the time. But folks, this is the start of the new season of S Rank the podcast. Please share your rankings of these particular things in the comment section, whether you played along with us or you're seeing the final list and now you're putting it down. We'd love to know. Would love to see what you got. Maybe we're out of left field. Maybe we're too nice. Maybe we're not nice enough. You let us know.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But this has been S Rank the podcast. Thank you for playing, Ethan. Thank you for playing, Devin. And thank you for playing person who we don't know watching this. If we do know you, thank you as well. But and maybe we'll see you next time. But yeah, I enjoyed these new ones. I think this made it a little bit more interesting. Despite we got some, like I said, just fine ones today, but I think that we see the potential. I mean, Watch a Pig Race is on here. I mean, that would be a debate right now.
Oh,
right?
I see.
If we had that one as the last one.
Yeah.
Because arguably that could be us. That could have been us. I'll say it. Watch a Pig Race could have been us for me.
Honestly, if it was on this list, yeah.
But
who knows?
So,
maybe we'll never see it again.
It's true. There's 280 or whatever on here. So, folks, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you're interested. And we like doing these and hope you like it as well. We'll see you next time on the next S Rank, the podcast.
Boom, 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 boom. Outro music.